What's good, everybody? In this episode, I want to talk a little bit about getting the right advice and the right feedback from the right people when it comes to solving challenges and getting through obstacles and problems that will help you grow your agency. Let's get it going. For 3 years, my agency built funnels and automation systems for the biggest names in marketing today. Since then, I've transformed that agency into a hyper-profitable training and consulting business. While everyone is out there talking about scale like it's some sort of destination, we'll be asking the real question. How do you transform your business into a more scalable model using the knowledge, skills, and expertise that you already have? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share the strategies I'm using to build my multi-million-dollar business. My name is Greg Hickman, and welcome to Scalable. Welcome back, guys. And like I said, in this episode, I want to talk a little bit about getting feedback, right? When it comes to growing your agency, growing your business, you're probably seeking advice from others to help you overcome obstacles, solve unanswered problems that maybe you don't know the answer to, so that you can move in the right direction and continue to grow your business. Well, if you're like me, you have probably come into a moment in your life or at some point, maybe it's right now, where you've solicited too much feedback from too many different sources, and it's led to inaction. The classic case of paralysis, by analysis, right? And this happened to me not too long ago, and I have since kind of decided how I'm going to go about getting feedback and really the right feedback to grow my business and really propel me into action. Because what I've really come to notice in myself and in those that are, that I look to, that are successful, that are where I want to be, I've noticed that they make decisions quickly. And in order for me to grow my business and to get the appropriate feedback fast enough, I need to become someone who can make decisions quickly. And so I started to look at, how I was actually making decisions up until that point. And usually it came from asking a lot of questions. I've always been someone that has sought the answers from others that already maybe knew the answer or were a few steps ahead of me, which is really common, obviously, in the entrepreneurial space. But like you can imagine, and maybe you've become, victim to maybe, is over-consuming information to like really set yourself up to make the best decision. But in doing so, you kind of fall into the consumption loop of getting feedback and getting feedback and getting feedback. And then you go to take action, and then you realize that someone else that you didn't ask for feedback is doing something different. And so you want to, before you take that action, you go check with that person to see if the action you were about to take was the right one. And then there's something that's slightly different. So then you go back into this loop of, seeking feedback. And I don't know about you, but for me, there's been moments where I've gone into kind of this perpetual state of inaction and not making decisions and not taking action and only getting feedback. And the amount and volume of feedback that I was receiving actually made me more unclear, which kind of had the whole cycle going again. So what I want to share with you in this episode is how I go about now getting feedback from a specific group of people so that I can take action. Because like I said, I've found that the success that I've had, and when I do get the results that I'm looking for, and I speak to, mentors and things like that, that I see getting results, they're all making fast decisions. So we need to become people that are capable of making fast decisions. But how do you go about that? You want to get feedback, right? So by me making action, I go out into the marketplace and do something, and I will receive feedback, right? So by the action that I take, the market, my prospects, my leads, my clients will give me feedback just inherently by the action that I take, right? And usually that is the most beneficial feedback because they've spoken with their words, their time, and their money. If I want to launch a new product and I go to my existing client base and my existing audience and nobody buys, that is feedback that maybe that product wasn't the right product, right? If tons of people buy, that's also feedback, right? So how the market, my audience responds to the actions that I'm taking provides me with the feedback that helps me choose and determine, am I even going in the right direction? But before you take that action, sometimes you want to seek advice as well, right? To make sure that the actions you are taking are the right ones. And it's this point in the, I guess, the decision making and the action taking process where I see a lot of people get hung up, myself included. And we know that the real answer is by going to the market and taking action, but we're kind of gut checking ourselves on what we should be going to the market with. How should we package up our services? How should we price our offerings? What marketing message is going to resonate, or will this marketing message resonate? And it's in that state of seeking that feedback from your mentors or maybe from books or what have you that you kind of go into this perpetual loop of trying to get all your ducks in a row before you actually take the action that's going to give you the feedback, if you're with me. So you go out to mastermind partners or your coaches or your mentors to get advice, and maybe you go out to a certain group of peers, your friends, and you come back and now you're conflicted and you don't really know where to go. If that's your situation, I've been there, and here's what I've been doing that's been really helpful. And I want to give a shout out to the Warrior on Fire podcast by Garrett J. White, because he shared something that he does that is really what I'm going to share with you, is who you should go to get feedback from when you need to make a decision, right? Specifically, we're talking about decisions around your business. Should I attack this market? Should I do this thing? Should I launch this new product? Should I do this event? What have you. And in my past, I would go talk to my coaches. I'd talk to like 50 different people, and I would just be inundated with ideas. So what I did is I made a list. I made a list of, here are the order that I'm going to, the order and the groups of people that I'm going to go to seek the feedback that I need in order to take the immediate action, right? I want to have a little bit of insight and, kind of wherewithal. If I can eliminate some mistakes, I got to go seek some feedback and some advice before I take action, but I don't want to seek, and then months later, I still haven't taken the action that's going to yield the real result I'm looking for. So here's kind of how I look at it, is I have a problem that needs to be solved, right? And I'll go out to, 3 different groups of people to get feedback and insight into, hey, what do you think about this decision? What would you do, etc. And they're going to give me, what they believe is the right answer. And at that point is when I go and I take action, right? I've assessed what they told me, and then I act, right? So the question is, who do you go to get the, I'd say, minimum viable feedback before you take the action that is really going to give you the real results, which is from your market, right? Your market being leads, clients, prospects, right? Whether you're launching a new webinar, a new product, right? We want to really get the feedback from the market. Do we get their eyeballs, right? Do we get their dollars? Do we get their time, right? By them either engaging or spending with us or giving us their attention, we are getting the feedback that will allow us to know, are we on the right track? So for me, it was this list was super long. I would go to, sad to say, probably, hundreds of people. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but a lot, way too many of people to get that feedback. And then I kind of got stuck in this loop of, well, this other person's doing this other thing. Let me go back and check with that other group of people. And it kept going back around. So if this is you and you're looking to grow your agency and get feedback from the right people, here's who I've found to give me the best feedback so that I can get to the real thing at hand, which is taking action, right? All of the answers are on the other side of action. And so here are the people and or groups of people that I go to get feedback from. The first group that I'm looking to get feedback from, let me actually move this over here so you can see. The first group of people that I'm looking to get feedback from are people that pay me. So, people that pay me, clients, right? The first source of feedback should be from the people that have given you money, both past clients and existing clients. If you're going to modify a service that you offer or create a new service offering, getting feedback from people that have already given you money is the first place you should go, because they might give you more money depending upon what you're creating, and or they might say that's a horrible idea. And they already know, like, and trust you because they've already paid you. So some of their feedback is going to be the best feedback possible. So if I'm considering taking some sort of action or doing some specific thing, first I go to my clients or past clients and I get feedback from them because they've already paid me. The second group is people that I pay. So this is your coaches, maybe your consultants. I'll put mentors in there. Maybe you have a board of advisors, your employees, or your team, right? These are people that I pay. If I've paid, $30,000 to be in a mastermind with other high-level people just like me, and I'm deciding between taking a specific action, it would benefit me to go then say, hey, look, I've invested money in you to make better decisions and to grow my agency and grow my business. What would you do? Here's what I'm considering, right? Hey, team, you're the ones in the trenches with me each and every day. What do you think we should be doing as it relates to this, right? So first you do people that pay you, then people that you pay. And then, again, all in this order, I then go to my family. I'll talk to my wife. So flip it around, maybe it's your spouse. And my son's only 2, so he's not giving me the best insight at the moment, but sometimes he is. I'll speak with him as he's getting older, right? Because a lot of my decisions that I make in my business will impact my family. So as a kind of a tertiary layer of feedback, I will run certain ideas by my family just to get their insight. From that information, I then take action so that I get feedback from the market, right? That's the real feedback, right? So launching this podcast, I thought a lot about it. Once I knew the topic, I went to clients that have paid us. Do they like the concept? What topics would they like to know about? I went to people that I'm at the time I was in programs with and got feedback from them. And then I said, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. What do you think about this, Sarah, my wife? And got feedback from her, right? That then is all I needed to go take action. Now here's a potential roadblock for you. And this is one that was for me at the time. So when it comes to people that you pay, right? Or that in this case that I pay. So we're looking at this second category of people. This is where you have your coaches, your mentors, etc. There have been times where I've been in too many coaching programs and masterminds at the same time. Thus, you're exposed to a wide variety of people. I think there is a limit to, if you're in, or at least a caution, if you're in a group or you have multiple coaches, beware that you're not going to seek feedback from like too many people, right? So if you say you have a health and fitness coach and you have a business coach and you're looking to make a business decision, you might not go ask, the health and fitness coach. That sounds logical, right? But sometimes you're in multiple groups that are business related, and it seems that because the topic is business, you go ask both groups that have hundreds of people in them or, many people in them, and you get all of this feedback that then becomes overwhelming and prevents you from taking action, right? So just pay attention to, are you the type of person that will get inundated with all of these ideas and then not take the action? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't be necessarily investing in multiple coaches or mentors at the same time, but if you are the person who is going to start taking feedback from way too many people and that is going to create an inaction for you, just be aware of it, right? But to recap, who do you want to get feedback from? Who should you go to get feedback from when it comes to making a decision to start taking action in some sort of direction in your business? I would first look to the people that pay you. Second, to the people that you pay, that you pay, coaches, mentors. And then lastly, family and close friends, right? Family and children. I would say the next level down for me would probably be a couple close friends. I have now kind of developed relationships with a few folks that if I'm really needing one extra layer of insight, I would go to like one or two friends, not all of my friends. I have thankfully a lot of great, smart friends that have really successful businesses, but to go get feedback from all of them would be really challenging. So I kind of keep it close, one or two people, if I'm still kind of conflicted based on the decision from first the people that I pay or the people that I pay or pay me, then I pay, and then my family and my kids. So if you're stuck in making some decisions that's preventing you from taking the action that you need to be taking in your business right now, go talk to your clients, past clients, go talk to any sort of coach or mentor, advisor, people that your team members, things like that. And then check in with your spouse and your children with what you're about to do and just see how they feel about those action steps. That's going to give you the minimum viable amount of quality feedback before you go and take action on the thing you're going to do, because the real answer is going to be the feedback that comes from the actual marketplace. That's all I got for you today. If I gave you 5 to 10 new clients, would you or your agency break? If so, your current agency model is broken. I struggled with this too until I found a better way. By adding online programs, training, and coaching to our agency, we doubled profits without adding more hours. If you want to work directly with me and my team to transform your agency, visit myscalablebusiness.com to learn more.